Hello, today I'm going to show you how you can order the pocket folder for the HR marketing system, and then I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to order the city guide and the additional agent promo guide. First, you're going to want to open your template inside of Canva. This is the folder template. You are going to notice that we have one full layout and then the front and back of each of these layouts. The layout that you're going to end up using for Zazzle is going to be the single layout like this. It just makes it a little bit easier. So you're going to want to update this for yourself and your name and information. And then once you have that updated, we're going to order it. I do already have mine here updated. I took this one and I updated the photo and my information here. And then on the back I did here, you will want to update these. I didn't do all of them. You'll also want to make sure that you update the QR code for something or for your own personal website or wherever you want to send people. This technically will send you to Shop Elevated Agent, but if you want a way to do that inside of Canva, that is free. You can go to apps and you can type in QR code. This first one that pops up, if you click that, you are able to use QR codes like that, or the other one, all you have to have is the URL. And the other one that I like to use is this one. But yeah, it's not opening. I think that they might be having a problem with their app. So this is a great one to use. This is the one I would probably recommend. Okay, so we have this updated. I have everything I need now, so I'm going to download each as a PNG. I also believe you can do a PDF if you want, but I'm going to take my PNG all the way up. We are not doing any of that. We're going to do only the front and back. So we're going to download those two images, so that one and this one. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to Zazzle. It is zazzle.com, and you can search for the binder here. And well, let's just do it so you can see binder. Oh, excuse me. Let's start. Okay, while that is downloading, you're going to head over to Zazzle and you're going to type in folder. Okay, you can see all the folders that popped up. We're going to create our own product and we're going to select the pocket folder. Okay, and always look for codes. They do have discounts quite often, so I would definitely keep an eye out for that. 10% isn't the highest I've seen either, so a lot of times they'll go up to 20 or even like 30%, I think is probably the most I've ever seen. But we're going to say add your design. And then from here, it downloaded the images onto my computer. So I'm going to open those images up on my computer and I'm going to take that first image and I'm just going to drag it onto the front here. Okay, and it populated rather nicely. If you want to see what the layout is looking like, you can click front and it'll pop up to be bigger. Okay, preview. So then you can kind of see how it looks while it's laid out on the actual folder. Great, that looks great. We have sized these so that way they should just slide right in. I'm gonna get my back image and drop it onto the browser window here, okay? And that popped in nicely. So now I'm gonna go back to my front. I'm gonna go up to my preview. That looks good. Back looks great. Inside, can't customize the inside, unfortunately. And then there's just a little mock-up. So that looks great. The only thing that you should really be doing is maybe moving things around a little bit. You're not gonna be redesigning or even really resizing in Zazzle. You really should just be dragging and dropping. It should be very easy. So now we're just gonna hit this button. This is the full outside. So like if you wanted to use, we won't click that. All right, so we're reviewing, everything looks good. This is where you can change how many you want. You want one set comes with 5 per set. So if you want 5 sets, that's going to be 25 folders. So then you just add to cart. Great, and then you can view your cart and check out. It is as easy as that. All right, so now let's go back to, this was our folder, so we're done with our folder now. We're going to X out of that. Now we have our agent promo guide. This is a really quick 8-page all about you guide. That you will also want to update. I am not going to do that on camera and take up your time. I have already done mine. So you can see I've updated it for my information. There I am. There I am again. And there again. So how you get this image, I'm going to go like that. So you can go down wherever you keep the photos of yourself. So I liked the idea of having like my whole body standing there. So I know I have those folders. Here we go. So any of these would be fun. Let's do this one this time. So then you're going to come up to background remover. And if you move these in, it's not going to mess with the size of your image or distort you in any way. What it's going to do, it's actually going to create a smaller footprint for that image. So then that way it's not overlapping a bunch of stuff. So here we go. I like that, but I don't really like my elbow going this way and my tucked in one this way. It just feels like it should be opposite. So I'm actually going to switch that. It's a little bit of a tighter tuck here next to this line. I like that better. Okay. The other thing is sometimes photography can be different no matter where you get it. So I feel like I'm a little bit dark. So I'm going to edit. I'm going to come over here to adjust and I'm going to bump up this brightness. It looks blurry. It'll fix it on its own. It's just good old Canva. And then the other thing I'm going to do is once I bumped up that brightness, now look how red I am. Like it just doesn't look natural. So I'm going to actually come down and I'm going to drop that saturation and the vibrance just a little bit. And now I look a lot more natural. And if you ever feel like, okay, now I look like I'm dead, you can come back and adjust again and bump back up that saturation if you just want a little bit more color. But that's how you kind of look a little bit more human and less robotic. This is actually a real photo, not AI, but it still happens. So then what we're going to do is to make it look more like I'm actually standing there. There's a couple of things you can do. I'm going to show you actually this way first. If you click on the image again, edit, we can go down to shadows and then you can do a little drop shadow or a backdrop. So a drop shadow is going to be, I'll just show you all the way around like that. That is what's going to actually give you like a full body shadow. I don't really like either of those, but it is what it is. Anyways, so here you can, the distance, I like it a little bit closer to my body. I like it a little bit more of a blur, but also that intensity is just a lot for me. So I think that you do need to be careful using this type of shadow because it can look really dated really fast if you don't use it right. For example, you know, if I were to bump up that intensity like that and have it like that looks like 1998. So we're not going to do that. So I'm going to actually take off all of the shadows. Now I like how I look. I really like the black and white on the white background. The only thing I want is a shadow at my feet. I feel like that is just kind of a natural shadow and I like that look. So I just searched shadow in the elements and I am going to come down here to maybe something like this. A little bit of a circle, a little bit of a line too, so you can really adjust it. And right now, yes, it does look like I'm putting it over my feet because I am. I'm actually going to And it's going backwards a little bit, but that is okay. That is what we want because I'm going to get it set right where I want it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to position. I'm going to send it to the back. And now actually my shoes are on top of it and it just looks like a really natural shadow underneath me. Much, much better than that whole body shadow that I just showed you. Same thing here. You can see I have my body and then this little guy right here is a completely separate shadow. Might even be the same one actually. So that is how I make that visual effect. Okay, I'm just gonna delete that one. Of course, you can change anything you want on here. You should change this. I always think a good in-action shot is nice to have. So what we are going to do now that I have this all updated for me, because of course it looks like looks like this originally. So we've updated it to me. Now I'm ready to order. One way I like to order is through Canva. You can click on this print with Canva. Go to this back. We're going to do a booklet. Their booklet, I wish that they would include this in the name of it, but is technically their saddle stitch. And they do not do very many pages in their saddle stitch. So I think the amount of pages you can do is maybe 18. You don't want a magazine because that is going to have that magazine. Here it is, booklet large. If you do a magazine, it'll have the actual glue on the spine instead of the saddle stitch. And this one is only 8 pages, so we definitely want that saddle stitch. So this is what it would look like. Scroll down, you can say how many you want. Of course, you get a little bit of a price break with how many you order. These details here 24 pages is the max. A little bit more about their ordering quantities. This is what it's going to look like when you order it. And I've actually ordered this from them and it is a very nice quality. I will say that Canva is a little bit expensive. If you want a place to print these that is not as expensive, we very much recommend Bear Printing. So then you're just going to hit continue. You can replace these. I've never actually found any issues with any of my images that it likes to say is low resolution. And I've never had one not print. I also think that this is a weird glitch on Canva. I don't know if anyone else has this, but there's actually a page here. If you go here, you can see it, but it disappears when you go here. Anyway, so now we're going to go add to cart. Boom, it's in our cart. So now we have that one ordered. We are going to move on to our city guide. So this one is going to probably take a little bit more time for you to update because it does include a lot more local information, but it's so important. And once you have it done, you'll be able to use this for so many different things. You could do this as a free download on your social media, leave it at open houses, hand it out to new residents, whatever. I mean, there's so many cool things you could do with this. But you're going to want to update this, add pages, take out pages, whatever you want, but then we're going to order it the same way. This one is 12 pages. You could do it in you could do a booklet, like a large booklet like this. I do have 2 different covers, so you'll want to pick whatever cover. I don't know why it's not going in there. Okay, well. So since it has more pages, it is a little bit more expensive. That is the booklet. If you do want it more of a magazine style, you will have to add, oh, you can't do magazine, it has to be 24. You could do a smaller booklet. These are the 6x9s, I think. Oh, we don't want that. But that is how I would order these. You could do the large booklet just like the other one, update it, and then you're just going to add it to your cart just like we just did. Once your cart is ready, this is just how you go to checkout, and then you check out straight on Canva and you will have everything ordered. The other items inside of the HR marketing kit are able to be printed at your office. These could also be printed at your office if you wanted to. They do not have to be professionally printed, by no means.